Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Respected viewers, today we are about to embark on a faith-filled journey, one that will shake our hearts and strengthen our trust in Allah. This is the story of an ordinary man whose life was as hard as stone, yet whose heart was filled with complete reliance upon Allah. In a small village lived a young man named Rashid. His family was extremely poor. To earn a living, he traveled far from the village every day to a mountainous forest area to cut wood. Rashid had a wife and 2 children. Every morning before dawn, he would wake up, say Bismillah, and begin his journey toward the mountains. He firmly believed that Allah was always with him and that honest hard work never goes unrewarded. One morning, as the village lay silent like a sleeping town, Rashid set out toward the hills as usual. But that day, a strange thought occupied his heart. What if I go deeper today? Perhaps I'll find better wood, or maybe something unexpected. Instead of following his familiar path, he chose an unknown route leading deeper into the mountains. As he moved forward, the forest grew darker and more frightening. Tall trees, thick bushes, and eerie shadows surrounded him. Fear briefly crept into his heart, but his faith quickly overcame it. Bismillah, Allah is with me. I have nothing to fear. With his old blunt axe resting on his shoulder, he continued walking. After a long journey, Rashid reached a narrow ravine where he noticed an enormous ancient tree. Its shadow covered the entire area. One of its thick branches was completely dry and lifeless. Seeing this, Rashid felt hopeful. He wiped the sweat from his forehead and raised his axe. With full strength, he struck the branch, saying, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Suddenly, something strange happened. Instead of falling to the ground, a part of the broken branch slid into a hollow inside the tree. Then, from inside the trunk, something began to pour out, like water flowing from a spring. At first, Rashid thought it might be insects or rainwater trapped inside, but when the objects hit the ground and reflected sunlight, his breath nearly stopped. They were gold coins. Hundreds, thousands of shining gold coins spilled out and formed a small pile at his feet. Rashid froze in shock. His entire body trembled. "How is this possible?" he whispered. "A tree filled with gold?" His heart pounded violently. He looked around in panic, fearing someone might see him. But the forest was silent. No one was there, except him and his Lord. For a moment, his mind was overwhelmed. These coins could change everything. My children would never go hungry again. My wife would smile. We could live in comfort. A cold wave of greed rushed through his veins. His trembling hand reached toward the gold. But at that very moment, his faith awakened. A voice within him spoke sharply. "O servant of Allah, what are you about to do? Is this wealth truly yours? You came here to cut wood, not to take what does not belong to you." His conscience questioned him relentlessly. "This gold is not the result of your labor. Will you feed your children with haram wealth? Will the mouth that says Bismillah consume what Allah has forbidden?" Inside Rashid, a fierce battle began. One side whispered, "No one is watching. Take it. Free your family from misery." The other warned, "Allah sees everything. Will you sell your faith for worldly comfort?" Overwhelmed, Rashid collapsed to the ground. He held his head in his hands, tears streaming down his face. He cried out, "O Allah, turner of hearts, keep my heart firm upon your religion. protect me from the whispers of Shaitan. After a long internal struggle, faith won. Rashid stood up and made a firm decision. If my Lord wishes to make me wealthy, he will do so through halal means. I do not need this forbidden wealth. The Allah who kept me faithful during hunger will surely provide something better. As soon as he made this decision, all fear and greed vanished from his heart. A deep peace enveloped his soul. Without touching a single coin, he pushed the gold back into the tree's hollow. He carefully covered the opening with wood, soil, leaves, and moss, making it seem as though nothing had ever happened. Taking a deep breath of relief, he walked away. For the first time in his life, he tasted the sweetness of staying away from haram. Though he returned home with only a small bundle of ordinary firewood, his heart was filled with honor and spiritual victory. Days later, in a nearby kingdom, a just and God-fearing king saw a dream. In the dream, he saw a poor woodcutter who discovered a hidden treasure in the mountains, but refused it out of fear of Allah. The king woke up shaken. He said, "There is a servant of Allah in my land whose faith surpasses riches." He sent soldiers to investigate. They found the tree. A greedy minister attempted to take the gold, but by Allah's decree, the coins turned into stone in his hands. Eventually, Rashid was brought before the king. Seeing his humility and sincerity, the king honored him publicly and gifted him lawful wealth. Tears filled Rashid's eyes as he praised Allah. He returned to his village, where his family lived in comfort, but his heart remained humble, grateful, and filled with fear of Allah. Lessons from the story. True wealth lies in faith, not in gold. Allah tests hearts before He opens doors of blessing. Haram wealth never brings peace. Halal sustenance always does. Whoever leaves something for Allah, Allah replaces it with something better.